There's something in the air, something you can't quite describe, yet your soul feels it moving. It's like a thread being pulled through the fabric of your life, delicate, precise, yet undeniably strong. You sense it during quiet moments, in whispers of intuition, or in the way your heart reacts to something small but meaningful. It is not by accident. God is weaving something sacred, something beyond your understanding. He is aligning the hearts of those meant to walk life together, preparing each one with divine patience. And the truth is, your name is already stitched into this masterpiece. Your soul has a place in this sacred pattern. The love you've been waiting for isn't just possible, it's already in motion. And as you feel this resonance within you, know that the universe is responding to that internal vibration. There is a reason you found this message at this very moment. You are not alone in your desire to connect deeply with another soul. Many people sense this same shift, the same sacred anticipation. Right now, you are being invited into that energy. Watch this video until the very end, because somewhere in these words is the sign your soul has been praying for. And if you feel the stirring within you, the hope, the excitement, the quiet certainty, then we invite you to write your warmest wishes and the number 77 in the comments below. Let it be a small offering to the universe, a declaration that you are ready to receive and that you are open to all the love being prepared for you. NTHE Path of Two Souls Converging isn't rushed. It's measured by healing, by growth, by timing. Each person involved must become who they are meant to be, not just for themselves, but for the person they are destined to meet. That's why you've had seasons of solitude, of longing, of emotional intensity. God was not withholding love from you. He was refining you. He was polishing the parts of your heart that needed to be clear, not clouded by fear or confusion. Sometimes what feels like a delay is simply a lesson in disguise, a way of preparing you for a deeper kind of love. And the person who is meant for you is also walking through this same journey. Though their steps may look different, their heart, too, is being made ready. You are not missing anything. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. In fact, you are right where you're supposed to be. Every moment of waiting has added strength to your spirit. Every unanswered question has made you more discerning. Every experience that didn't lead to forever still played a role in preparing you for the soul that will. You have been learning how to hold love, how to recognize it, and how to give it freely without fear. That preparation is sacred. That waiting was not empty. It was filled with silent work in the background. And just like the stars align in the heavens, your life is aligning now, bringing you into closer proximity with the soul that was designed to recognize yours. There is a feeling that can't be ignored, a knowing, deep within your chest, that something is coming. You might not be able to explain it in words, but your heart already understands. Your spirit feels the pull. That's not fantasy, that's alignment. That's your soul attuning to the one it's meant to share space with. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg. The one meant for you will arrive with peace, not chaos. You will not need to constantly wonder where you stand, because true connection is mutual. It confirms itself, not with loud declarations, but with the quiet ease of presence. And before this meeting happens externally, it begins inside of you, as calm, as readiness, as joy in the present moment. What you're feeling is the truth calling to you. Divine timing is not always comfortable, but it is always perfect. Think about the way seasons shift. There's no warning, no announcement. One day you wake up and realize it's warmer, brighter, more alive. That's how this love will enter your life. Not with fanfare, but with undeniable clarity. You'll know because you'll feel it in your bones, in your energy, in the way everything else suddenly makes sense. God doesn't bring confusion. He brings confirmation. And the confirmation is coming. It's not just an idea. It's a soul-level promise being fulfilled in its time. You were never meant to walk this life alone. Companionship was written into your journey long before you were aware of it. The person who matches your heart has always been part of the plan. Every time you felt unseen, it wasn't because love didn't exist for you. It was because the right love hadn't yet arrived. What you've been building in yourself is exactly what someone else is praying for. And just as you long for someone who will see the depth of your soul, someone is already being drawn to that light within you. That mutual yearning creates a magnetic field, one that God is weaving together in quiet ways. It may feel far off, but in spiritual reality, it's closer than you think. The moment of crossing paths is approaching, and when it does, you will understand why it couldn't have happened any sooner. There are no accidents in divine orchestration. Even detours and heartbreaks had meaning. They refined you, stripped away illusions, brought you back to your truth. Now that truth is what is being matched. You are attracting not based on your past, but based on your wholeness. That is why this next love will be different. It will not come to complete you. It will come because you are already complete. And in that completeness, two souls will find home in each other. There is peace in trusting the process. There is strength in allowing. When you stop resisting and start receiving, your energy shifts. You begin to operate from a place of expectancy rather than desperation. You start living in alignment with the belief that you are worthy of divine love, and that belief changes everything. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. You make decisions that honor your value. And in doing so, you create the very space where love can enter. That is what's happening now. You are being transformed from within, and that transformation is calling forth the soul that has been looking for you. Sometimes we confuse silence for absence. When the days stretch long and lonely, it can be easy to wonder if anyone is truly meant for you. But silence is not a punishment. It is a sacred pause. It's in the quiet that the deepest work is done. When God weaves souls together, He doesn't rush. He threads each moment with precision, choosing where to connect two lives based on readiness, not desperation. So if it feels quiet right now, it's not because you've been overlooked. It's because something beautiful is being woven beneath the surface. Something that will be revealed in perfect time. Your soul knows. That's why you're still holding on. That's why your heart hasn't given up. You may not be aware of it, but right now your presence is being felt by someone you haven't even met yet. Energy travels. It transcends space and time. The love you've cultivated within yourself, the resilience you've nurtured, the kindness you carry. These things are signals. They reach further than you realize. They prepare the way. While you continue walking your own path, healing and evolving, the same is happening elsewhere. Another soul is quietly becoming ready. They are wondering about you too. They feel the ache, the longing, the quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, someone like you is out there. And they are right. You are. NTHE, weaving together of souls, doesn't happen in loud moments. It's not always fireworks or dramatic revelations. More often, it begins subtly. A feeling, a shift, a random encounter that doesn't feel random at all. Maybe even a delayed meeting that somehow ends up being perfectly timed. The most meaningful connections often come in the stillness, wrapped in grace. They're not here to impress you. They're here to align with you. And when it's right, You'll feel it. You won't have to chase it or question it. The energy will speak first, and everything else will fall into place around it. That's how you'll know. NTHE journey toward this sacred connection requires that you remain open, not just to love, but to yourself. Because love finds you through the parts of yourself you've accepted, nurtured, and honored. That means choosing to see your own worth, even on the days it feels hidden. It means choosing to believe in love, even when it seems unlikely. Every choice to be soft in a world that tells you to harden is a declaration that you're ready for something true. Every time you trust in something bigger than what you see, you're participating in the weaving. You're allowing the divine thread to pass through your story and connect it to someone else's in an unbreakable bond. There is no need to be perfect. The person who's meant for you isn't looking for flawless. They're looking for real. They're looking for the strength behind your smile, the courage in your vulnerability, the honesty in your voice. And the same way your heart yearns to be seen and understood, their heart is echoing that desire. You don't have to pretend or perform. You simply have to be. That authenticity is what draws the right soul. It is your frequency. It's what separates fleeting interactions from sacred connections. Be patient with yourself as you become more of who you truly are, because in doing so, you become more visible to the one who is meant to find you. There is no shame in yearning for connection. It is one of the most natural desires of the human spirit. We are made to bond, to share, to mirror each other's truths. Love, in its highest form, is a reflection. When you meet someone whose soul recognizes yours, it doesn't just feel good, it feels like remembering, as though you've known each other far longer than the time you've spent together. That familiarity, that ease, that deep peace, it's not accidental. It's the result of divine weaving. It's the outcome of two paths that were always meant to intersect, now finally crossing at the right moment. What's happening in your life right now is preparation. Even the confusion has a purpose. Even the waiting has weight. You are shedding old beliefs, outdated stories, past wounds. You are clearing space, consciously or not, for something more aligned. Sometimes we think we're waiting for another person, when really, we're waiting for the truest version of ourselves to emerge. That emergence is what unlocks the meeting. Because when you are rooted in who you are, you no longer grasp at love, you embody it. And from that place, the soul meant for you is drawn not to your effort, but to your essence. There is a love that doesn't just meet your expectations, it surpasses them. A love that doesn't arrive to fill your gaps, but to dance with your wholeness. A love that doesn't make you feel smaller or unsure, but expands your world with clarity and calm. That's the kind of love being prepared for you. One that holds space for your dreams. One that meets you in your depth, not just your surface. One that understands that connection is more than words. It's energy, it's intention, it's soul alignment. You won't need to explain who you are. They'll just feel it. And in return, you'll feel them too. And so, if the days feel long and your heart feels heavy, remember this, the thread is still moving. You might not see the full picture yet, but the pattern is forming. With every act of kindness, with every moment of courage, with every time you choose growth over fear, you are helping to stitch your path to someone else's. This is the work of grace. It happens when you least expect it. It finds you when you're not performing but simply being. It arrives when your soul has made enough space to welcome what it truly deserves. And when it does, you'll understand why every moment before now mattered. One of the most powerful truths you can embrace is this. The soul that is meant for you is not lost. It's not hidden. It's not running away. It's being prepared just as you are. You are not searching for something random. You are aligning with something destined. And in that alignment, everything shifts. What once felt like a void becomes a space of anticipation. What once felt like silence becomes a symphony of signs. Your energy becomes more attuned, more intuitive, more open. You start to recognize the difference between temporary connections and timeless ones. You begin to trust the slow build instead of rushing the outcome. You feel the divine fingerprints all over your life. There is wisdom in every delay. Every closed door, every unanswered message, every situation that didn't unfold the way you hoped, it all had its reason. Because what's being designed for you isn't built on convenience. It's built on depth. That kind of connection takes time. It requires that both souls arrive ready, not half prepared, not still clinging to the past, but free, aware, and grounded. When two people meet from that place, the bond is unshakable. That's the kind of foundation you're being led toward. Not a fantasy built on shallow attraction, but a relationship rooted in emotional safety, mutual growth, and spiritual resonance. You are not waiting in vain. You are being refined in the fire of experience. And while it may feel like your heart has been through too much, it is that very heart that will be the source of your strength in love. You know what you're capable of now. You know the depths of your devotion, the sincerity of your intentions, and the clarity of your desires. You've outgrown settling. You've risen beyond compromise. What you're seeking is not something you've never had. It's something you've always deserved. And as you claim that truth, you become magnetic to the one who will meet you there. There's a reason certain people couldn't stay. Not because you weren't enough, but because they weren't meant to walk with you into the next chapter. Sometimes, letting go isn't about giving up. It's about creating room for what aligns. And alignment is everything. The soul that's meant for you will recognize you in your truth, not your performance. They will see you in your wholeness, not just in your light. They will honor the entirety of who you are, not just the parts that are easy to love. That's the kind of recognition your soul is calling in. And that kind of love comes when you decide not to shrink yourself for anyone else's comfort. There's a divine intelligence behind every connection. Some come to teach, some to awaken, some to redirect. But the one meant to stay will do more than all of that. They will hold space for your becoming. They won't fear your evolution. They won't flinch at your honesty. Instead, they will stand beside you in full presence, not needing to fix you, but simply walking with you. That's the kind of partnership that grows from soul weaving. Not possession, not performance, but presence. And presence is sacred. It's the highest form of love, to be seen, heard, felt, and still chosen every day. NIF, you've ever doubted whether your kind of love exists? Take this as your reminder that it does. The depth you carry is not too much. The standards you hold are not too high. They are simply invitations for the right soul to rise and meet you, and they will. You haven't been asking for too much. You've just been asking in places that were not ready. But now, things are shifting. Your energy is speaking more clearly. Your inner world is matching what you want on the outside. And that harmony, that internal clarity, is the invitation the universe has been waiting for. It's the green light that activates the divine weaving on your behalf. Let yourself believe that you are close. Not in a desperate way, but in a peaceful way. Let that belief shape how you live, how you love, and how you see the world. Begin to prepare, not through effort, but through intention. Speak with love, move with clarity, act with courage, and trust that every step is being guided. There are forces at play that are beyond your view, but not beyond your heart. You can feel them. You've felt them for a long time. That's why you've kept hoping, even when hope seemed unreasonable. That's why you keep showing up, heart open, spirit willing. Because something in you already knows this connection is real. You are not just a passive observer in this journey. You are a co-creator. Your willingness to stay present, to heal, to evolve, is what allows the thread to move through you. Every time you release a limiting belief, you loosen the knots that held you back. Every time you forgive, you clear space. Every time you choose faith over fear, you strengthen the thread. That's what weaving looks like from your side. Daily choices that align you with the sacred. And on the other side, someone is doing the same. You may never see their process, but their soul is echoing yours. In unseen ways, you are already meeting, and when the moment arrives, when your paths finally cross, you will understand why it had to be this way, why the timing mattered, why the healing couldn't be skipped, why the silence was necessary. It will all make sense, not in your mind, but in your soul. You'll feel the click, the resonance, the ease. It won't be dramatic. It won't be filled with doubt. It will be calm, steady, true. Because when God weaves souls together, the connection is undeniable. It's not forced, it flows. And it will feel like home, not a place, but a person. There's a sacred stillness before a miracle unfolds, a hush in the air, a soft readiness that begins to stir within you, though you can't always put it into words. That stillness is not empty, it's full of intention. It's where alignment starts to crystallize. God often works quietly when preparing something extraordinary. And if you're feeling that strange peace lately, even in the midst of uncertainty, it's a sign that something is shifting. You're not just waiting anymore, you're transitioning. You're entering the space where divine connections begin to manifest. This isn't the end of your story. This is the turning point. And your soul feels it because your spirit knows what's coming before your mind does. NTHE preparation has not been easy. You've had to walk through seasons of questioning, of letting go, of watching others find love while wondering when it would be your turn. You've had to choose yourself in rooms where you were misunderstood and stay soft when you were tempted to close up. All of this has stretched you, but it has also shaped you. You've developed emotional muscle. You've gained the wisdom to recognize what's real. You've become more than just someone waiting to be loved. You've become someone capable of holding sacred love with reverence. That transformation alone is evidence that your heart has grown in divine timing. Now, while you may not see the other end of the thread, know this: the soul you are meant to meet is also preparing. They may not even know it, but their steps are being divinely guided. Every lesson they are learning, every choice they are making, every shift they are experiencing, it's all leading them toward you. The day they enter your life, it will feel like they've been walking beside you all along. Not because the time was short, but because the connection was timeless. That's what happens when God weaves two lives together. There's no gap too wide, no past too messy, no timeline too delayed. There's only the undeniable pull of purpose meeting purpose. Your heart is sacred territory, and the one who enters it will not treat it casually. They will understand what it took for you to remain open. They will sense the depth of your spirit and not be intimidated by it. In fact, they will be drawn to it, not just to your beauty or your energy, but to the truth of who you are. There will be no need to convince or explain. Your presence will be enough. That kind of connection doesn't need to be earned through effort. It simply needs to be received with openness. And that is exactly what you're learning to do. Receive without fear, without questioning your worth, without overthinking what is simply meant to be. Sometimes, The weaving doesn't look like progress. It looks like being alone on a Friday night, while others post pictures of romance. It looks like healing from someone who wasn't able to hold your heart. It looks like choosing peace over chaos, even when loneliness whispers lies. But what it really is refinement. God is refining your taste, your vision, your energy. He is removing distractions so you don't confuse attention for affection. He is making space so you can recognize resonance when it appears. You may not see the whole tapestry, but trust that every thread is placed with purpose. And when you do finally meet this person, there won't be a sense of striving. There will be a sense of remembering. You'll recognize something in their spirit that feels familiar, not because you've lived parallel lives, but because you've been becoming the person they've been looking for, and they've been becoming the person you've been waiting for. It will feel like you are finally speaking the same language, one of the soul, not of the ego. Conversations will be rich. Silences will be full. The time spent together will feel like alignment, not effort. That is the kind of love that endures. And it is the kind of love being prepared for you right now. This journey is not about finding someone to complete you. It's about meeting someone who complements you. You are not halves seeking a whole. You are whole souls learning how to dance together, not step on each other's growth. The love you're calling in will not require you to dim your light. It will celebrate your shine. It won't diminish your individuality. It will enhance it. And you will do the same for them. It will be a meeting of equals, of two people who are grounded in themselves and open to becoming more through the relationship, not less. And allow yourself to believe in this. Let go of timelines. Let go of past disappointments. Let go of the need to control how it all unfolds. You don't need to know the exact path. You only need to stay open, aligned, and present. Love is not something you chase. It's something you invite. And right now, you are being invited to trust, to soften, and to allow. You are being asked to rest in the knowing that the weaving is already underway. You are being positioned for connection. And even if it feels like nothing is happening, everything is. The silence is full of movement. The waiting is full of purpose. The stillness is full of preparation. Remember, love isn't a reward. It's a reflection. What's being drawn to you is not just about who they are. It's about who you've become. You've done the work. You've held on through the quiet. You've dared to hope when it was easier to give up. That's the energy that brings alignment. That's the vibration that opens doors. And when it happens, when your soul finally meets its match, you will see that every moment of uncertainty was worth it. Every tear, every lonely night, every time you had to walk away from what didn't fit, it all served a greater purpose. Because what's coming is not a repeat of your past. It's a reflection of your healing. And it's going to feel like destiny, because it is. There is a gentle unfolding happening in your life. You may not always notice it, but it's there. Soft and steady, like a flower opening to the sun after a long night. And in that unfolding, you are becoming more available for love than ever before, not just romantic love, but divine love. The kind that doesn't require masks. The kind that speaks to your spirit before it ever touches your body. The kind that feels like it was made with your name in mind. This is what your soul has been preparing for. Not a fleeting connection, but a life-giving union. And as you continue walking in alignment with your truth, you are sending out a signal that only the right person will understand. And in this season, you are being called to trust not in what you see, but in what you feel. Because divine love isn't always visible at first. Sometimes, it lives in the shifts you sense but can't explain. In the decisions you make that seem small but change your direction completely. in the places where peace begins to grow even when circumstances haven't changed. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are proof that something sacred is approaching. The weaving is almost invisible until it's done. Then suddenly, you step into a moment that makes everything click, and you realize you are being led there all along. You may feel tired at times. Tired of the wait. Tired of the unknown. Tired of keeping your heart open in a world that often feels closed. But your resilience is part of the story. It's part of what sets you apart. The way you continue to hope despite your experiences. The way you still believe in the beauty of connection. That doesn't make you naive. It makes you powerful. You are not someone who gave up. You are someone who chose to stay aligned. Someone who understands that divine timing may not move at the speed of your expectations, but it moves with purpose, with precision, and with love. Then when the soul meant for you appears, you will not be left wondering. Their presence will feel like a breath you didn't realize you were holding. You'll feel safe in ways you didn't know were possible. They won't arrive to rescue you. They'll arrive to walk beside you. You won't have to hide parts of yourself to be loved. In fact, they will love the parts you thought you had to conceal. That's the kind of connection being woven now. Not superficial, not fleeting, but soul to soul, heart to heart. A connection rooted in depth, maturity, and spiritual awareness. You were never meant to chase love. You were meant to become it. That's what you've been doing all along. Every moment you chose growth over bitterness. Every time you forgave. Every time you let go of what didn't serve you. You were becoming love. You were becoming someone capable of holding something real. That is no small feat. That is sacred. And because of that, the love you receive will be sacred too. It will mirror the depth you've reached within yourself. It will honor the path you've taken to arrive at this place. It will feel like grace in human form. NIF. It feels like things are shifting in your life right now. It's because they are. You may not see the full picture yet, but you can feel the corners lifting. The atmosphere is changing. You are stepping into a space where divine appointments become visible, where the right people begin to appear, where the energy around you softens and strengthens at the same time. This is not just hope. This is evidence. The process has not been in vain. The journey has not been without reward. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You don't have to force what is meant for you. You don't have to beg for clarity or manipulate outcomes or lower your standards. What's meant for you will honor your standards. It will meet you where you are. You won't have to fight for its attention. It will recognize you the moment it sees you, and the moment will be unmistakable. Not because it will be loud or grand, but because it will feel so undeniably right. It will feel like truth, and truth always finds its way home. And this love that's coming, this divine connection, it's not the result of striving. It's the result of surrender, of choosing faith over fear, of trusting that what is aligned for you can never miss you, that the work you've done is not invisible, that your prayers were not whispered in vain, that the universe heard you, that God heard you, and the response is on the way, not just in the form of another person, but in the form of peace. Because divine connection doesn't only bring companionship, it brings restoration. You are about to experience the kind of love that doesn't just change your relationship status, it changes your reality. It awakens parts of you that were dormant. It validates the choices you made to stay true to yourself. It shows you what it means to be met, to be chosen, to be deeply known. And in that knowing, you will find healing, you will find clarity, you will find joy. Not because you found someone to fix you, but because you attracted someone who reflects the love you already cultivated within yourself. And as this journey nears the turning point, you may find yourself reflecting on all the steps that brought you here. Not just the joyful ones, but the painful ones too. The moments when your heart felt stretched thin, The relationships that almost fit but never truly held you. The choices you made to walk away from what wasn't right, even when you didn't know what was next. All of it was preparation. All of it was sacred. You weren't wandering, you were being guided. And that guidance has brought you to the very edge of something beautiful. You may not see it fully yet, but it's closer than ever. You can feel it. You're not imagining it. Your spirit knows when something destined is approaching. And as you sense that shift, trust what's rising inside you. Trust your calm. Trust your curiosity. Trust your peace. You're no longer looking for a fantasy. You're looking for what's real. You're not trying to recreate the past. You're building a future that feels aligned with your soul. That's why this time feels different. You've grown. You've evolved. You've risen into the version of yourself that no longer chases, but chooses. And because of that, you're about to witness what it feels like when life chooses you back. When the person who's meant to walk beside you finally appears, not by coincidence, but by divine design. There will come a day when you'll look back at all of this, the solitude, the hope, the longing, and you'll realize it was never just waiting. It was preparation. Every day you stayed open when you could have closed off. Every time you chose love over bitterness. Every moment you dared to believe there was something more. It was all planting seeds. And now, those seeds are beginning to bloom. Quietly, steadily, beautifully. The divine has not forgotten your heart. It's been shaping it, protecting it. And now, it is ready to be held in hands that know how to care for something sacred. What's coming for you is not a test. It's a gift. A connection that feels like an answer, not a question. A partnership where you're not afraid to be seen in full color. Where your shadows don't scare them. Where your truth is met with reverence. This person won't need to be convinced of your worth. They'll recognize it instantly. Because the same divine thread that pulled you through your journey has been pulling them too. And when you meet, it will be like two stories joining into one. Not because either of you needed rescuing, but because you were both ready to build something eternal. This is the reward for your surrender, the blessing for your belief, the reflection of all the love you've held on to. Even when the world gave you reasons to let go, you've continued walking in faith. You've held your heart in both hands and whispered, "I still believe." That whisper was heard. It echoed into the universe, and it returned with a promise. You will not be alone. You were never meant to be. Love is coming, and not just any love, but the kind your soul has been waiting for. And when it comes, let it in slowly. Let it show you that consistency can be soft. That presence can be profound. That passion doesn't have to burn. It can glow. Let it teach you that love is not about losing yourself, but about being more of who you are. You don't have to brace for impact. You don't have to anticipate pain. This love is different. It's healing. It's nurturing. It's home. And it's not just about having someone. It's about being seen, known, and understood in a way you've always dreamed of. NSO, don't lose faith in these final moments. The weaving is almost complete. The lives, the hearts, the paths that were meant to connect, they're aligning right now. And you are ready. You're no longer becoming, you've become. You're no longer hoping with desperation. You're standing with peace. The love that's coming to meet you is not just a person. It's a reflection of your readiness. And when that moment comes, you will know. Not just in your mind, but in your body, your soul, your spirit. You will feel the clarity, the resonance, the undeniable yes, deep within your being. You've made it. You've kept believing. You've walked with grace through every unknown. Now prepare to receive, not because you waited long enough, but because you've grown deep enough. The story that is about to unfold in your life isn't just a romantic chapter. It's a sacred union, a divine alignment, a holy weaving of two souls that were always meant to find each other in the end. And that moment, that love, that destiny, it's yours. You won't have to force your way into the right heart. It will already be open, waiting, listening, hoping for someone like you. And when you arrive in that space, it won't be filled with questions or fear. It will be calm. You won't feel like you need to prove anything. You won't be bracing for rejection. Instead, you'll simply be met, fully, honestly, and without hesitation. Because the person meant for you won't just see what you show the world. They'll recognize what's behind your silence. They'll understand what your smile is hiding. They'll hear what your spirit says when your words are quiet. It won't be about perfection. It won't be about timing things just right. It will be about presence. Two people showing up as they are and still saying, "Yes, I choose you." You'll laugh without caution. You'll share without defense. And even in your stillness, there will be connection. That's how you'll know it's different. That's how you'll know it's divine. Because it will bring peace, not pressure. It will anchor you deeper into yourself, not pull you away from your center. It will support you in your becoming, not make you question who you are. And when the days come where doubts try to whisper again, when your past echoes loudly, trying to convince you to guard your heart, you'll remember how far you've come. You'll remember the nights you cried alone but still chose hope. You'll remember the promises you made to your own soul to wait for what truly fits. You didn't hold out for something ordinary. You waited for what your spirit aligned with. And now, your energy speaks for you. It calls out to the one who matches your truth, not your wounds. NTHE, divine doesn't orchestrate halfway love. What's meant for you will come whole. It may come imperfect, human, learning, but it will be willing. It will meet you at eye level and hold space for your evolution. It won't demand you to shrink. It won't run at the first sign of complexity. It will stand firm, not because it's easy, but because it's real. That's the difference between convenience and commitment, between a passing moment and a woven destiny, and you are being led into a love that knows how to stay. There is beauty in not rushing this. There is beauty in letting the story unfold at its divine pace. You don't need to skip ahead. You don't need to fear that it won't happen. It is already unfolding in the spiritual realm, already being written in moments you haven't lived yet. Trust that. Trust that you are seen. Trust that your love hasn't been lost. It's simply on its way to you in perfect form. The person meant for you is being guided just as surely as you are. And when your paths cross, it will feel like returning not to a place, but to a soul you never really left. Somewhere in the world, someone is awakening to the same inner pull you feel right now. They may not know your name, but they're beginning to feel the space you'll one day fill. A gentle ache for something deeper. A yearning not just for partnership, but for purpose. To love someone with intention, with reverence, with a sense of sacred timing. Their soul is stirring in the same way yours has been. They are being nudged toward the decisions that will eventually bring you together. And though you've never met, the connection is already in motion, invisible, but alive. NTHE, more you align with your truth, the louder your energy becomes. Not in volume, but in clarity. And clarity calls clarity. The more you choose what honors your peace, the more you resonate with the person who's choosing the same. Love doesn't find you when you become someone else. It finds you when you finally become yourself. That's what's happening now. You are becoming so wholly yourself that only those in resonance can stay. That is the filter that ensures the one who's meant for you doesn't miss you, and the ones who aren't can't stay. Don't underestimate the power of the quiet decisions you make, the boundaries you hold, the peace you protect, the joy you allow. These seemingly small moments are the stitches in the thread that weaves you to the right soul. Because you are not just attracting someone into your life, you're creating the conditions in which divine connection can thrive. And the person coming toward you is being led by those same divine conditions. Your growth is not separate from theirs. It's parallel. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, everything is being shaped. This love will not rush you. It will not confuse you. It will not ask you to become smaller to fit into someone else's story. Instead, it will feel like an expansion. It will breathe with you. It will invite you to rest. It will mirror the softness and strength you've cultivated in yourself. And even on the hard days, it will hold its shape. Because it's not built on fantasy. It's built on truth, on grace, on trust. This is what the divine prepares for those who dare to believe that love is still worth waiting for. And so, if you feel like you're on the edge of something, you are. If you feel a quiet anticipation in your soul that you can't quite explain, don't dismiss it. That is spiritual alignment whispering, "Get ready." That is divine orchestration saying, "It's closer than you think." Let that be enough for now. Let that truth hold you. You don't need to chase anything. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to keep becoming who you are meant to be. And in that becoming, love will arrive, not as a disruption, but as the most natural continuation of your journey.